Hello friends! The list of available power units initially included a turbo diesel with a working volume of 2.5 liters with 174 horsepower, and petrol naturally aspirated V6 with a volume of 4.0 liters and 269 horsepower. Later, after restyling in 2010, R51M, the 2.5 liter diesel added power and began to develop 190 horsepower. Instead of the gasoline V6, they began to install a 3.0 liter diesel V6 with a return of 231 horsepower. The most popular among power units was a 4-cylinder turbo diesel 2.5 liter YD25. Its weak point is the cylinder head. Cases of cracks in the head are not uncommon. The reason is the long-term work under heavy load and overheating. The problem arose after 100 to 150,000 kilometers. After 250 to 300,000 kilometers, the owners even faced a major overhaul of the diesel 2.5. When replacing the oil filter, some negligent craftsmen broke off the fitting on the vacuum valve, which caused the turbine to stop functioning. By negligence, the plastic tip of the T of the heating tube block may also be broken. This results in coolant leakage. With a run of more than 60 to 100,000 kilometers, the turbine often begins to howl. Reason: wear on the rod through which gases escape. With heating, the metal expands, the gap decreases, and the leakage of gases decreases, so the howl subsides. The gap in no way affects the efficiency of the turbine. Howling is a specific age feature. The turbocharger itself reaches 250 to 300,000 kilometers. Fuel injectors begin to pour after 120 to 150,000 kilometers. Upgraded 190 horsepower YD25 engine received a slightly modified cylinder head and a turbocharger with an electrical control system. After 10 to 30,000 kilometers, car owners, more often in 2010 and 2011, experienced a loss of traction, accompanied by the illumination of the MIL indicator. The blues appeared periodically and spontaneously. When dealing with a problem, official services calibrated the turbine and flashed the ECU. If the disease recurred, then the turbocharger was changed. The cause of the malfunction lay in the turbine control unit. Separately, the control unit does not change, so the officials updated the turbine assembly. Many managed to cure the turbocharger after cleaning and soldering the contacts in the block. The number of 3-liter V9X diesels is not large. The most common reason for contacting services in the first years of operation is the jamming of the EGR valve with a mileage of more than 50 to 80,000 kilometers. This problem also occurred on the YD25 diesel. Over time, cases of overhaul of a 3-liter turbo diesel began to occur. On many Nissan Pathfinder diesel engines, after 50 to 70,000 kilometers, the pipes connecting the turbine to the intercooler began to sweat. Oiling testified to the appearance of micro cracks, which soon increased. The pipes had to be changed. After 150 to 200,000 kilometers, the high-pressure fuel pump could be depressed due to the failure of the fuel pressure regulator valve. Gasoline aspirated VQ40 is also not without flaws. For example, sometimes problems arose due to the destruction of the ceramic catalyst filter, small particles of which fell into the cylinders. Due to the abrasive effect of particles on the walls of the cylinders, scoring appeared and oil consumption increased significantly. A 4-liter engine sometimes began to consume oil, even after 250 to 300,000 kilometers. Along with this, there were cases of turning the liners and destruction of the crankshaft. Owners of a Nissan Pathfinder older than 5 to 6 years often encountered a fuel level sensor failure. The pointer needle stuck at maximum or fell to zero. In addition, to replace the pump, it was necessary to remove the tank, since there is no technological hole in the body for these purposes. With a run of more than 100,000 kilometers, the overrunning clutch of the generator or bearings could fail. Extraneous noise suggested this, crackling or squeaking. On pre-styling Pathfinders, there were often problems with the rear gearbox. The problem gearbox was replaced under warranty. The rumble and vibrations at high speeds after 80 to 120,000 kilometers owe their appearance to the crosses of the cardan shafts. Transfer case seals will last more than 100 to 150,000 kilometers. A 6-speed manual gearbox was equipped only with SUVs with a 2.5-liter turbodiesel. There are no problems with the box itself, but the grip was too weak. Most often it had to be changed even before 100,000 kilometers, but under gentle operating conditions, it could last 150 to 180,000 kilometers. A 5-speed automatic was installed in tandem with any of the Pathfinder engines. Automatic transmission is able to confidently drive more than 200 to 250,000 kilometers without repair. The hydraulic block could be the cause of the malfunction. Often the box died not from natural wear and tear, but because of mixing its working fluid with antifreeze. The preparation of the deadly cocktail took place in the lower part of the radiator due to the leakage of the heat exchanger, the lower radiator tank. There is only one harbinger of trouble: slippage. If it caught on in time, then it was possible to get off only by washing the box. Otherwise, the valve body and clutches would have to be replaced. Problems with the automatic transmission were sometimes added by a design flaw. The bolt securing the plastic lining of the front bumper frayed the box's oil cooling pipe. With age, another vulnerability was discovered: a break in the contact track on the automatic transmission control board. The path can be soldered. The bushings and struts of the front stabilizer serve more than 60 to 80,000 kilometers. The rear, more than 80 to 120,000 kilometers. Wheel bearings run over 100 to 150,000 kilometers. The suspension arms and ball joints, steering tips, and rods go the same amount. Knocking in the steering when driving over bumps is not uncommon. The culprit of the Deceleration on the pre-styling model is the steering shaft cardan. After replacing with a rubber metal analog of a new sample, knocks disappear. In the restyled version of the Pathfinder, knocks in the steering occur due to wear on the splines on the crimp structure at the bottom of the steering shaft. Some Nissan Pathfinder owners report brake pedal failure and reduced deceleration performance. The problem could show up both after 20 to 30,000 kilometers and only after 200,000 kilometers. In most cases, the cause of trouble in the master brake cylinder. The paintwork, traditionally for most cars, is weak. It is easily scratched and quickly overgrown with chips. Already after the first winter, spiders, small swellings of paint, could appear on the hood, front pillars, above the windshield, but most often on the rear tailgate. The chrome coating of the decorative elements of the body trim also suffered. Later, corrosion was found on the wheel arches and frame. After 11 to 14 years, holes could appear in the frame. Due to problems with the valve in the headlight washer pipeline, nozzles often begin to poison. Many are faced with the appearance of cracks on the glazing of the front headlight unit near the wing. The reason is a strong internal stress due to the fastening features. Some lucky ones had to change their headlights almost every year. Although the cases are not isolated, dealers, when accepting a car, were sincerely surprised by what they saw each time. The peeling leather upholstery of the seats and steering wheel is another sad reality of most modern cars, including the Pathfinder, after 20 to 40,000 kilometers. Over time, the plastic pads on the steering wheel spokes are also wiped. There are also problems with the contacts of the power window control buttons, power seats, and their heating. Often you have to deal with a break in the steering cable, because of which the buttons on the steering wheel, the sound signal, stop working, or the airbag malfunction indicator lights up. Often the regular navigation system is buggy. The monitor goes out. On its own, the system can get out of the stupor only after a few hours. If the lethargic dream does not stop, then the navigation unit will have to be replaced. Dealers, when asked about the reasons for this behavior, answered that special zones operate this way. Anomaly? When such jumps appear, electricians recommend removing the plug of the active GPS antenna from the socket and not using it again. If smudges appear on the racks near the ceiling and the ceiling, it is necessary to check the condition of the rubber bands under the rails and stretch their fastening. Water in the front passenger's feet is the result of a disconnected rear window washer hose under the front right fender. Owners of diesel Nissan Pathfinders often complain about the slow warming up of the cabin in cold weather. Over time, the stove motor may make noise. Lubrication will help silence it. The rear passenger air conditioning pipes located under the bottom are easily corroded. There are also episodes with the failure of the servo motors of the air distribution dampers. Electrical harnesses laid under the bottom and connectors under the thresholds often rot after 4 to 6 years of operation. This is the main reason for displaying errors on all-wheel drive or ABS sensors. If you know of other model malfunctions, be sure to write about it.